Okay, so we're going to do the next part of our picture, and you should have erased all of the pencil lines and made it look beautiful and clean. And I'm noticing that I didn't erase as well as I should have, and anyhow, you need to get all of that cleaned up and ready to go. You should have finished your inking and your erasing. It's difficult to do erasing after you paint on it, so you want to make sure that you have all of that done ahead of time. And we are going to be using watercolors, and I wanted to show you the definition here. Watercolor, and they spell it different there. It's usually kind of a light look to it. Here's the definition. Watercolor paint consists of fine pigment particles suspended in water-soluble binder. So it's very watery. It is usually used on paper, and we are using it on paper, is semi-transparent, and sometimes the white of the paper, white areas of the image often are merely left unpainted to expose the paper. So we're not going for dark here, we're going for light, okay? Now, make sure that you have your paints, you have a cup of clean water, and you'll need either paper towels or tissue of some kind as well. And you'll just take the water and you'll get your paint wet, right, like that, and then you'll put the paint in the lid. We're going to mix our colors in the lid instead of mixing them in the palette with the cakes. We're going to mix it in the lid, and I'm going to go for a nice peach color. Add some more water to my paint here. Okay, I want you to try to mix your colors in your lid. It'll help you in a couple of ways. One, it'll help keep you from digging into your paint and getting too dark of paint or too heavy of paint. And also, it gives you an opportunity to mix a color. You know, you don't have to go with what's in your paint tray. You can make it any shade that you want. Okay, so there's some variety there. I also want you to consider what colors you're going to paint things. Remember, I was naming her the Blue Brain, and so I was going to make her hair kind of a color of like a brain, right? And then so I'm painting all over this. And if you make a mistake, you can then take your tissue, your napkin or paper towel or whatever you've got, and you can sort of blot that away. And you can even add a little more water and wash it away even more. So that's kind of a neat thing that you can do with watercolor paint. Also, if you let a section of it dry, you can then paint over. Let's see if I've got a watercolor that's dry. Here's one that's dry. I can paint over the top of that. I'm going to put this red right here. I'm not going to mix it for this because I don't want to, but I'm going to add a little water to it. But then I can paint some more details over the top of what I've already done. I don't like the direction that one was going, so I'm going to do it different. Okay. And another thing I want you to do is I want you to let each section dry. So what I mean is this hair part is like a pink or a peach color, and I want her skin to be blue. So I would really like to let that dry for a minute so that when I'm doing the blue part, it doesn't bleed into the pink part. So I'll show you what I mean. Like right here, it hasn't really dried, and if I do this blue on here, well, I guess it has dried a bit. Well, if you do them immediately, they'll kind of bleed together. Can you kind of see how they're bleeding together? So you want to give it a minute to dry before you do that next part. So I like to try to do like the whole pink section and then go back and do the whole blue section and let it dry in between. Okay. But definitely add some water, mix some color, make it look nice. Take your time, because, you know, we're going to make these really nice. We're going to display them. Okay. Let me know if you have any further questions. I'm always here to help. Thank you.